Welcome to the Nutrition Collaborative podcast, where we cut through the noise, bust the myths, and bring you nothing but truth about health, fitness, and everything in between. I'm Alec Moore, dietitian, and each week we'll dive into what really works when it comes to achieving lasting health and fitness. No gimmicks, no BS, just real talk, real success stories, and a holistic approach to living your healthiest life. Whether you're here for practical tips, inspiration from real client journeys, or just to find out what's actually worth your time, this is the podcast for you. Let's break it down, get empowered, and focus on what truly matters for your health. Statistically, losing weight is not the hard part. It's what happens after the weight loss success that determines what happens long term. So today we're going to talk about why weight regain is so common and what it actually takes to get long-term results without rebounding, without yo-yo dieting, and without having to lose all that weight over and over again. So here's why weight loss is not the issue. We have so many resources out there. We have so many quote-unquote diets, trends, fads, ways to lose weight. There's 1,000,001 ways to lose weight, and everyone's doing it. So let me hit you with a statistic here. So 80% of those that lose weight either gain it all back or gain it all back plus more within the next 1 to 5 years after initially losing the weight. 80%. So you're only in the 20% if you have lost weight once and not regained any back. 20% of the world. So let's dive into why that is. Because these diets, these trends, these fads, none of them teach you to maintain weight. They are weight loss facilitators, right? Basically, picture it as this, right? A diet or a trend or a fad or whatever, Whole30 or carnivore or this or that, just to lose weight, keto, or, just to lose weight. That's basically getting in an Uber and taking that Uber 500 miles away from home. Yay, I made it to my destination. But what happens? That Uber leaves. How the heck are you going to get back home? There's literally no way unless you walk it and learn the hard way. So why would you jump into the Uber of a diet to take you one direction, knowing that it's not going to get you a round trip? You're not. You're going to be stranded. It's only 50% of the whole solution. Weight loss is only 50% of the whole solution. The other 50% is maintaining that weight loss forever. So they just take you in that Uber one way. They don't teach you anything. They don't teach you how to get back home. They don't help you get back home at all. So there's got to be a way to how to live in an entirely new body now that you've had the weight loss success. So weight loss is only halfway there. Weight maintenance is that drive back home, a round trip in that Uber. I hope that's a good analogy. It's starting to sound like it's not, but I think you probably get the point. You're only halfway there with no extra support on the turnaround, on what really matters. Because if you just gain it all back and more within 1 to 5 years, what was the point of losing it in the first place? What was the point of enduring that? It's not easy. So what was the point of it if you're not going to keep it off? So the foundations, the habits, the principles, the understanding of food, of movement, all of it, of what coaching does, that's not going to be learned in your own your own self-running program type of thing. Diet, trend, fad, you name it. If you have no support on that, you're not going to learn how to live that whole new life. Because that lifestyle, when you have lost weight, is different than the two lifestyles that you had when you were at an elevated weight and when you were losing the weight. That's 3 different lifestyles. Being at an elevated weight, that's one. Losing weight, that's another. Maintaining weight at a lower body weight is another lifestyle. So you've got to learn you've already learned the first one of being the elevated weight, but you've got to learn how to lose it and keep it off for the long-term success. And it's not magic. I'm not saying, you got to learn this special thing. You just have to learn basic math with your calorie in versus calorie out. You need to learn rest. You need to learn consistency. You need to learn stress management, proper sleep. That's what I meant by the rest. Macros, calories, what a step goal is, step counts, how to manage all of those things, how to navigate hunger, now how to navigate blood sugars, how to navigate portion sizes and restaurant meals and travel and holidays and social events. If you learn the ropes as you go, instead of just following a program or diet or trend, black and white, that will be the game changer for you. You're going to make so many more realizations, so many more recognitions, so many more so much more profound of an understanding of it all. And that's how it's done. So how do you do it, right? How do you do it? Well, the first things first is a reverse diet. You don't just say, oh, see a coach or see a trend or see a fad and go right back to how you were doing things before. You're just going to end up in that same position. Promise you that. So you must learn under supervision how to live in maintenance at that new metabolically downregulated. You're going to be metabolically adapted. You're not going to burn as many calories as you did when you were an elevated body weight. Unless you build a ton of muscle, which is a whole different topic, then obviously you can. But if you lose 100 pounds, that's 100 pounds less that the body has to fuel. So you're not going to need to consume as many calories, which means you can eat more calories at that heavier weight and still lose weight. Just a little tidbit there. Here's another analogy. Maybe it's a little better than the Uber one. Weight loss is a sprint, but weight maintenance is a marathon, one that nobody wants to train for. They'll do the sprint, right? But they know they're in for a long run, no pun intended, with the marathon. So instead of coming up with like these super strict rules throughout your journey, maybe come up with more practical rules, lifestyle rules, not even rules, just a lifestyle in general versus strict rules. What's that 80-20 approach that works specifically for you? It must still involve strength training. It must still involve walking to some degree. It must still involve some form of cardiovascular work to keep the weight off, and a balanced caloric intake, of course. And here's an awesome quote about like maintenance and like, reaching that point of what maintenance is. Because a lot of people, they'll, say they lose 100 pounds. They feel like they're failing if they don't lose more because it's all they're used to. But really, maintenance isn't where progress ends. It's where you prove it was real. Yeah, fire. And here's another thing. I think it's way cooler. Results maintained is way cooler than results achieved once. I think it's way cooler that way. That's also like, oh, hey, I made $1 million. Well, how'd you do it? Oh, I won the lottery. Okay, what'd you do after that? Well, I spent it all. But hey, I made $1 million. It'd be really cool if you did something with that million and turned it into 10 million within a couple of weeks. That's really cool. That's the maintenance versus just weight loss. So sustainable weight management, that's the real flex. Saying, oh, I lost 100 pounds 10 years ago. Oh, well, what happened after that? Well, I gained 200 and then I lost 100 again and then I gained 150. That's not the flex. Do you get the point? The point is maintenance is the flex because that is proving it to us that you know how to lose it, keep it off. That's the cool thing. So I think it's really cool it could be really cool if we stop glorifying transformation like severity or transformation speed, start to not necessarily glorify, but celebrate transformation stability. Who's able to make that big transformation and keep it there? That's who and what we should be celebrating, not so much the level of transformation itself. I'm all for transformations. Trust me on that. I love it. But I'm also never going to just ghost someone after they've lost it. Now the real work has begun, maintaining it. So America does not have a weight loss problem. America has a weight management, weight maintenance problem. So if you need help, reach out. If you've lost it before, if this is ringing a bell, if you've lost it before, which there's a big chance, an 80% chance you've lost it before and gained it back, reach out. We can help. We'd love to help because we know that in 1 year with us, you can lose the weight, learn how to maintain it, and send you off on your way for the rest of your life without ever having to lose it again. That's the real flex. Thanks so much for tuning in, as always.